Hi, my name is Chrvns. We have
The Rhetorician
and
Julien.
So today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. This is Shut Up and Listen, episode 85. I just said a number. Hopefully that's the right number. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob. He said 71. I don't know. We'll see. And today we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We of course Noel's not here. Boo.
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 We're gonna chop it up. First and foremost, Julien. Who is Julien for the people that don't know? Go ahead and let them know.
Who is Julien? I'm a director based in Bellingham, Washington. I do a decent amount of commercial work, and then I try to do as many music videos as possible. Friend of Jordan's over here, and recently made a music video with him called Rap for Breakfast.
Ooh, hey, go ahead and play that right now, right here.
Pencil, turn us to Cezanne. Architect, weather hat with no days off. Factor X, trajectory is paid off. Check the corners, rip the tape off. What you say, stats is sort of amazing. Part-time hero didn't put the cape on. Don't you dare spend that time wasted. What you say, kid? What you say, The life you live showing up everywhere. It was evident you was trying to be everything. Plan starts at the summer season. Follow the heart, didn't make no sense when you're only one who believes it. Didn't waste no time when you waiting on your season. Didn't waste no time when you waiting on your season. You will finally arrive when you really believe it. Been on a feast, hit the gas, luncheons in the morning to break fast. Writer who found production, rap me is a hating ass. Rich folk hitting blatant grabs, Lego world creating bags. Big pen roll like a semi, scribing what I know for sure. You ever watched the room change when you walked in and had nobody authentic in it? Seed reaping, Ivy lurking around the pennant. What's forever got to do with a day one? Can you trust you and amaze them? You should know how to work and not know what you gon' say to them. When's the patience pay when? I was sitting when I switched to old lens. What you do when that mind open? What did you see when that mind open? What did you do when that mind open? Didn't waste no time when you waiting on your season. Didn't waste no time when you waiting on your season. You will finally arrive when you really believe it.
And I'm the Black Ranger.
I've seen a lot of your work and it's absolutely just top tier. So
thanks,
what is how did you get into this? Because I know when I was a kid, I wanted to be a director. I had my little handy cam and I would make my own, like someone going back on the tapes, overwriting stuff. But music was just more accessible and cheaper to do. I could do it by myself. So tell me, tell the people, how did you get into it all the way?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same story. Just grew up doing it with my cousin, actually, who I still live with now, my cousin Sam. And so when we were kids, I thought I wanted to be a chef, actually. And he did too. So we were both, we just did everything together. So we're both like, we want to be chefs. So we were always like cooking, and we started filming ourselves making food. This was when we were probably in like elementary school.
Y'all had a cooking show in 5th grade.
We had a little cooking show, yeah. We didn't know how to cook or film, yeah.
I bet you when you said that, those tapes.
We were just like making soup, and we were just like pouring everything in the kitchen inside of it and then feeding it to my mom. But
and your mom would actually try it?
Oh, yeah. She would pretend like she liked it. I don't know if she actually did, but.
What was the recipe y'all would go to?
I actually recently found like my recipe book from when I was a kid. I've got like this whole book that has all these. Yeah, I think I should try and make something. But we just like, as we were doing it, we just realized that we liked the filming part more than we liked the cooking part. It was just more silly and creative. And so we both started making short films together. And then we were like making feature films together. But I mean, they were horrible. It was like just me and him, and we were just both filming each other, and we were trying to mess around with green screen and everything. And and then we were just sort of like, okay, this is what we want to do. And then ended up moving out to LA together, and just did like community college at first because I couldn't afford going straight into film school. So I went to Santa Monica College for a while, but we kept making. We had a skit show at that point called Sunday Skitters. Whoa. Oh no! Sorry, that was way later. We had one called Nerd of Mouth, I think, was our skit show.
Can we find any of these still?
Oh, I bet it's still around. I mean, I bet that's still around on YouTube probably.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for this after this, bro.
I never heard about this.
I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, so that was us like at 18, just like messing around inside of our house trying to get YouTube famous, and that definitely didn't happen, but got into a film program out there before I actually went to film school, and ended up going that route instead, and started working in promo, which is like marketing television shows essentially. And got in this program that was all targeted towards that. And that sort of like consumed my life for a little while. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I think just when you're in a program, you start to really like get excited about what everybody else is excited in, you know? And so like all my teachers were teaching me about it. And I was like, okay, like I want to make trailers for like HBO shows, and I want to, be shooting like ads for Lost and for the new J.J. Abrams show and stuff. And I was like, that sounds sick. And so I started working my way up inside of it. And I got a couple internships. I worked at NBC for a little while, which was really cool. I was like in this new media department. I was like, I just turned 19. I was like in this new media department there, and we were like making all this like really weird shit for them, because they were like, okay, we want like some young kids like coming in and like figuring out how to like make stuff that goes viral on the internet. So they'd have us make all this weird stuff, and then they'd be like, okay, we can't release this. They'd be like, they're like, we love it, but like they're just like way too scared to release it.
Too out of pocket or something?
Oh, it was way out of pocket. Way out of pocket. But like they wanted us to make way out of pocket stuff, but they were like, I don't know if we're ready for it yet.
You better stand on business, stand on your meaning, bro. Like, hey, we gonna see it through.
So wait, what show was this for exactly?
Oh, it was just like for all sorts of stuff. Like they had like Parks and Rec, and it was cool at that point. It was like I was able to watch the new Parks and Rec episodes before they came out. And so like me and my girlfriend at that time, we were both super into Parks and Rec. So I'd come home and I'd spoil them all for her before they'd come out.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was like in this windowless box making like ads and stuff for these shows, and nothing was being released. And eventually I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
like I want to make stuff that people actually see.
That wears down on you.
And so I quit, and then I got a job at Game Show Network for a little bit there. And there it was like, it was kind of, I mean, it was sort of like a dream come true, because I was like, I think I was 20 at that point, and I was making like a $70K salary from making like $15 an hour before that, and I was like, holy crap, like I'm rich. It's like, seeing your paycheck and like all your roommates are making like $12 an hour, like working in kitchens, and suddenly you're making like $70K a year, and you're like, I don't even living in an apartment with 5 people. And it was sweet, but it was like,
I got y'all, fam. I got you.
Yeah. I was too young, and it was not the time of my life for that thing. It was just like super big boy job, and it was like everything was I don't know, it was just like super structured, and everybody was playing a really very small role in a very large project.
So you couldn't even go outside of like basically whatever your part of the team was.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, you were working. They had such a formula for how they made everything, and so you were sort of going through the motions. Line, basically. It was basically an assembly line, yeah. Wow. And so, and I mean, I think there's a certain point in your life where you're like, hey, I just want to like make a salary. I'm cool with just doing the work. Yeah. But at that point, I was like, I'm 20 years old. I want to make some weird stuff with friends.
We'll be right back after these messages. Hey music lovers, want to be part of something bigger than just another music app? Check out SubJam. It's more than just streaming, it's a movement. Founded on the spirit of DIY and grassroots energy, SubJam is here to support music communities, promote free and open content, and help artists fill venues. You remember the episode where Jordan from SubJam came by and we went through the app? You gotta check it out ASAP. They're looking for passionate people like you to beta test their new iOS app and help shape the future of music. Join them by visiting subj.am/beta today. Let's make some noise together. Binary Recording Studio is a versatile space designed to cater to all music genres. And when I say all, I mean all. If you're into jazz, rock, hip-hop, or anything in between, Binary is equipped to bring your music to life. With the expert engineering and the best setup, my boy Bob, he can capture the essence of whatever you are wanting to create and bring it, just to reality. From there, book your session today, unleash your creativity at Binary Recording Studio. But for real, my boy Bob, he will not disappoint. And welcome back.
There was a ton of stuff that was going on in my life at that time, but I ended up quitting there and driving up north to Bellingham. I actually just drove north pretty much with my cousin.
So did you
Shout out Cuzzo, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody in the area before you coming in?
So I was driving north. I thought I was going to move to either San Francisco or Portland. And so there was a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of other stuff that happened in that story, but essentially everything that I owned was in my car. So it was me and my cousin and like everything we owned, and we just started driving north, and we went to San Fran for a little bit, and then we went up to Portland, and then ran into my sister at Oregon County Fair.
Oh, wow.
And she was actually living up here. We hadn't been talking much, but she was like, "Hey, I'm living in this small town, Bellingham. You should come and visit me if you're like driving up north." And I was like, "Cool." So we both came up and visited her. And while that was happening, she was like, "I'm moving into a new place. We need a roommate." And I was like, "I don't have anything going on in my life, so I'll do it." Yeah. And it was like one of the greatest points in my life, because I think a big thing about the whole LA chapter, and I feel like there's so many points in my life that have had this same structure where I've sort of like gone on a mission to do something very specific in my life. And once I get there, I'm like, oh, this wasn't what I imagined it to be. And I feel like that's just such an important process in life in general, is to like have a dream, get there and be like, yeah, like I'm so happy that I went through that process, but also like, it's just, yeah, the actual dream's kind of insubstantial, but the process is really important.
So you feel like you enjoy the process more than actually getting there?
For sure. I think getting there is always a little disappointing.
Yeah, you're right? Because it's everything that you put into it, everything that you're learning or along the way, just all the experiences, people you meet while you're trying to make anything that happen. Yeah, I feel like the process,
Yeah. I'm all about that. So I think that whole process of being like, oh, I want to do this thing in television marketing and sort of like leveling up in it and getting to the point where I was like, oh, this was actually where I was going to, and getting there and being like, oh, this isn't what I want to be doing. And so leaving there and then head into Bellingham and sort of starting over. And yeah.
And look at us now.
Wow.
And now we're
here. Look at us now.
Now
Look at you now.
That's wild. Wild origin story right there.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what the fuck I'm
You'll have
talking
to
about.
cut that down a little bit.
No, not at all, bro. We're solid.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you go first.
Yeah, so wait, who were like some of the first people you worked with here? Are they still creating in Bellingham?
So, I was trying to find a job at a coffee shop when I first moved out here, and I was like unhireable. Yeah. I mean, it was like I had never had any experience, and I think that was like some arrogance of being like, I worked in LA and now I should be able to get a job in a coffee shop. And it was like, no, like you don't have any skill set for that. And so I kind of happened upon a friend of a friend was doing ski filmmaking, Sam Giffen, who still lives out here. And I ended up meeting up with him and working on his company, which was super cool. We were doing little like mini documentaries. It was like way more my speed. We were doing these mini documentary ski films for kind of like branded content. And I learned a ton just being there. And
Sick.
We were just going out making little documentaries, and it was just very freeform and like kind of way more the thing I was looking for.
You being outside with it too.
Being outside with it and just being able to like make a lot of mistakes, you know? It was just like it was lower budget stuff. It was lower stress. I mean, it got high stress at times, but it was just sort of like, hey, look, like we can screw this video up and it's going to be okay. And I think that was an awesome environment to be in.
Oh, is there a video you're like, oh yeah, no, that shit never came out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so many videos. I think it's just like, I mean, so many videos you just sort of run out of time on, or you don't have control over it, and someone else is sort of like, hey, this is what we're making, and you make it, and then I mean, so much of my work, I think that I guess the other thing is, I would say most of the projects I do, I feel about that way at some point. Oftentimes at the right when it releases, I'm like, I don't want to release that. And then I feel like a lot of times I can look back on it a year later and be like,
oh yeah, I did that.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Like, I'm stoked that I made
Why does that always happen? Like, you release something, you're like, damn, bro, and then like you listen to it maybe a year or two later, you're like, oh shit, no, that was the one, bro, that was it.
Because humans are unsatisfied.
Yeah, just
Poetry.
basically.
Yeah. Through and through. We're just so unsatisfied with everything we do, in a sense, with like this concept of like ultimate growth, growing, perfection. Like, perfection doesn't exist. The perfect picture is all of us like zoomed out of the earth as one. But we're just like fragments of it, trying to just like live it out for real.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
I went a little deep there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I was moving, my boy.
I'm a part-time poet, bro.
I'm still processing it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I think that we just get too close too. I think you just get closer and closer and closer to the project as you go. And it's like
zoom out.
You develop a relationship with it. I mean, it's like, why do you fight with your girlfriend or your best friend more than anybody else? It's like you build that relationship with it and you're just like so absorbed inside of it. You see like everything that's wrong with it and like everything that you love about it, which I think is hard.
That was good. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think the first video I think I saw you do was the one for Fluency.
Oh yeah.
This is like when I first like got to Bellingham. I think it was for Fade Away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 So did you shoot the one where he was in the store too, or is it just the one with the kid? And I know there's like 2 videos out there.
There's I made both of those. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of them was like totally not intended to be a music video, and it was the first one we shot. And so Fluency's a friend, Alex Olson.
Yeah.
I met him through a video series we were doing. I was sort of going through one of my existential crises a while ago and made a series where we went around, I mean, kind of similar to this, but in like a more docu video format where we were interviewing different artists. And for me, it was all about like these people that aren't making like money off of their work or are sort of like in that phase where they're trying to get to the point where they're making a career out of it, but they're not there. Like, what's motivating them to keep creating, Because I think I was in that place where like part of the time I was working and doing it for money, but part of the time I was really trying to do it as a passion.
Yeah.
And both were a major struggle. And so it was like, okay, like these people that are like, I'm just doing this for the passion, like what's keeping them from just like fully giving up on it? And so Alex Olson was one of the people that we interviewed for that. And then afterwards, I ended up doing a couple little music videos for him, which one was just a pop-up, like a clothing pop-up for one of his friends. Oh. And so we just like went there and I just filmed some random stuff, like set up some lights and filmed some random stuff. And I think he still like likes that video the better.
It's that raw, just
it was
going
cool.
in. Yeah.
And I might like it better too. I mean, there's something about that that was just like, okay, we're just going to show up and we're just going to like film some random stuff and like, and it was
sick.
cool. Yeah, it was fun. And then we shot a more involved music video, which was much more complicated.
Were those
We
the
had
first like 2
locations
music
and
videos you've
everything.
done?
Like in my life?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
God, no. So one of my best friends, do you know Benza? So he was in a band, Noisy Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, over there on James Street bus spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he, I grew up with Benza. Like I've been friends with Benza since I was in elementary school.
Awesome.
And then Will too. So they were both in the band, and
Yeah.
I went to high school with Will, and then we all have like stayed in touch forever. And so I've made a few music videos for Benza, and those were kind of the like first music. I think those. Yeah, just having a friend that's a musician, just sort of being like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll make
let's
a
do
video.
it. We'll be right back after these messages. We'd like to give a special thanks to Lost Giant Cider Company, always providing us with our cider beverages and the best of the cider beverages. Visit Lost Giant's Tap Room in the heart of Bellingham at 1200 Meter Avenue in the Haskell Business Center. It's just down the street from Lakeway Fred Meyer. Menace Brewing, located in the Fountain District, is where flavor is unleashed. It serves as a local hub of craft beer and community. Recognized as the neighborhood's premier soccer hangout, you know I love me some soccer. Menace Brewing isn't just a brewery, it's the go-to spot for sports action and local engagement. Visitors can catch the game, connect with fellow fans, and immerse themselves in the heart of the spirited community. Menace Brewing invites everyone to join them, where every visit feels like coming home. Experience Menace Brewing in Bellingham today. And welcome back. What would you say is like the biggest difference, I guess, idea, concept-wise, or just work-wise, workload, that versus a music video?
I don't know if there is that big of a difference, honestly. I mean, I think that for me, I feel like so much of what it is, I feel like I'm in this phase of my life where so much of it is about who you're working with and what your intention is while you're working with them. And so I feel like no matter what you're filming, and I mean, whether you're doing video or music or whatever you're working on, whatever like creative project you're working on, I feel like it's what's your like mentality going into it, and how are you treating the people that you're working with? How are they treating you? And yeah, what is your intention? Are you trying to like make the best thing that you possibly can? Are you trying to like make money off of it? Like, are you trying to like, are you trying to like show off and make everybody think that you're like really great at what you're doing? It's like, there's so many ways that you can enter a project. And so I feel like I'm really trying to be engaged in projects now where I'm just with like a really solid crew of people and everybody's really like involved in it. And we're all excited and like creatively.
The heart is in that bit.
Yeah, the heart's in it. And I think it can be harder with commercial work sometimes, but I think it can also be really hard with, I mean, I've been in music video work where there's been a lot of like ego and stress and just sort of like a lot of pressure. And like, I think that's what I love about working with Jordan. And I talk to other people about that all the time. I think Jordan's like always set up a space that feels like you can do whatever you want to do with it. And Jordan's going to be like, cool, I'm into that. You know, like he's just like a really, he's just a super trusting person. And every time I brought a concept to Jordan, he's like, I love that. Like, that's sick. And then like, he'll have ideas and stuff, but I think it's allowed us to grow over time. And I think that, I think even if I had a bad idea, Jordan would still be like, let's try it out.
See what happens, bro.
Let's see what happens.
That's how you got to do it.
For real, man. Yeah, very, very trusting with this man with this creative brain. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when I go to collab, I just like, everybody gets the canvas. Don't like take it over and like try to control it, because like somebody's brain is gonna put a puzzle piece on there. You're gonna be like, oh,
didn't see that coming.
That was it right there. And like that is just such the beauty of collaboration. For real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a conversation with a friend recently, and we were just talking about he manages a lot of people, and he was just talking about managing and especially in a creative environment and the challenges of keeping the quality level high, And I think that sometimes we get too short-sighted about it, and we're sort of like, oh, how do we make this project the best it possibly can be? Instead of being like, well, how do we make like the 10th project that we do, like 10 projects from now, how do we make that one the best that we can make it? And maybe that's not making this one the best that it can be, And I feel that with like Jordan, I feel like every video we've made has been like a much cooler video than the last one. Mm-hmm. And if we were obsessed with making the first one as good as this one, it would have like destroyed the project. We would have just been like stressed out and bummed out the whole time because we would have been disappointed in in the work we were making.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, and it started out simple. It was just the one shot.
The session.
The session video. Just in the back of the car. It's we just gotta get the wraps. And then that's it. We'll get a couple angles and that's the one. I'm like, nice.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I know. I went and rewatched that recently. I was like,
It's
oh,
so
that's
good.
cool. Like,
It's
this
still
is
solid, bro.
It is.
And then I love the other one we did together. I think that one's super cool.
I really like
And
that video.
I mean, that was a little intense. That one we were, that was Plastic Eyes and Dr. Science Face.
Oh yeah, Plastic Eyes was sick.
Yeah.
That one
was sick.
Yeah, you should talk a bit about that one night we filmed, Jordan.
Man, it was probably 45, 48 degrees and just raining. It was really that dreary during that night when I was pushing the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And then Julian, you had a light set up on the back of a truck.
Yeah, this is not a OSHA approved here.
That's what I'm saying. I was pouring.
It was pouring rain. And we had a combo stand on the strapped down on the back of a truck, way up high, probably 15 feet high, with a boom arm off of it, with a light on top of it. And it's me and Jordan and Joey, I think. It's this 3-person crew. Mm-hmm. And then someone's driving this truck while Jordan's pushing the mower.
Yeah, and it was a broke lawnmower too.
So you,
Oh yeah.
It was just rickety, rusty. The grass hadn't even been cut. So it was just, I was really okay, I'm getting in there and just pushing. I'm like, oh, this is forearm work. This is everything right now. And it was really just raining. And I'm like, dang, this really feels like this poem right now. Just very just dreary and man, the eyes.
The eyes.
The eyes tend to feel plastic when they don't work. Or, something like that.
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah.
That was sweet. Yeah.
That was fun though.
Yeah.
The whole idea of this the crawling through the ground. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're gonna crawl through the ground. I'm like, how can you even do something like that? And then he explained it, and I was like, oh, that doesn't even sound that crazy of a shot, because I'm about to really try to get dirty or go into a bin of dirt or anything either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that, I feel like when I was trying to explain the mask thing in the most recent video where you're pulling your face off, I've had a couple people be like, I had no idea what the hell you were talking about when you're trying to explain that to us.
Yeah.
That was one thing. I've kind of covered it up in the edit to some extent, but there was one practical thing we were trying to do that I was just even me on set, I was like, I have no idea how we're going to do this, and we're just going to try it. But
rap for breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this idea of Fruit Loops going on, breakfast themed.
Yeah, and
Fruit
also
Loops.
that last shot with in the eye and going to the sky, coming down.
That was so wild. Yeah, because I think in the beginning, I don't know if you told me you were gonna put Fruit Loops in the sky.
I think
that
I
was
just kind of
You kind of just went with that, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, because the whole hook is kind of me talking to my higher self. And it happens to be Fruit Loops screaming at me, and this whole rap for breakfast theme, and I'm like, yo, the whole full circle of the concept just connected, and I was like, whoa, it was crazy, really crazy.
Yeah, it's been my favorite. Honestly, been my favorite music video I've ever worked on. I think it's been and I think it's all about the process of it. And I think so much of that thinking around trying to move towards process came out inside of this video, where I can tend towards just wanting to have way too much control over projects and then getting really stressed out for it. And so for this project, I was like, I want to let go of that as much as I can. And we all met up earlier. I had an original concept that I pitched Jordan. He was like, cool, this is awesome. And then we ended up meeting up, me and Jordan and Jake, and then this guy, Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew.
And we all sat down together and we just sort of threw the idea around, and I was like, hey, this is the basic premise of the idea I have. And then we just started spitballing ideas and fleshing it out more. Mm-hmm. And we were just throwing really weird shit out.
Yeah.
Sort of and it was cool, that's sweet. Let's just try it, And we're oh, maybe we could try this that way, and we could try this that way. And then I sort of just put all the ideas together and made a mood board for it and sent it out to everyone. And like, yeah, that's sick. And we just like, and I think for me, it was just like a process of being like, okay, I'm going to let go of me needing to control this or me needing to like take credit for it, or
let everybody
have their own like print on it for sure. And then I feel like the whole process was that way too. Like I ended up bringing in my friend Caleb and I was like, hey, do you want to direct like on the shoot days? And then I'll just use the camera. And then we had
that's dope.
Yeah, it was super cool. And it was just like, oh yeah, like that's the part of it that I want to do. And I don't care if I'm like the director of the project or have that credit for it. And it just relieved so much pressure of just being like, okay, cool. Like I'm just a part of the team here. Like I'm not the
right.
Yeah. And I think that's a big, like, I think the more you can like acknowledge the fact that it takes a whole team and takes so many people to create these things, the better your work's going to be. And the more you're like trying to make it your own thing, it's worse.
Shit. Okay, so check it out.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a part 2 of this episode because we have a couple of guests that we're going to bring in to join us on this conversation. If that's cool with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I got one question for y'all. I got 2 questions, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What's one good thing that happened in September for you?
In September? You got to go first.
Well, I did finish my project.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He did.
Imprinted Rhythms.
So speaking of imprinted rhythms, that's our next segment right there. Next episode, we're really gonna dive in.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. But yeah, that was definitely the best thing for me.
Seeing the other side.
Mm-hmm. Getting to a state of completion, man. Because artistry, it's so just like, am I this? Am I that? But like once you like find yourself, you execute the concept, you write down how you feel, and it's like comes out honest. It's like it's a moment of like very like complete. It's like damn, I completed it. But feels good. Feels good. Yeah. What would you say?
Well, we finished our music video too. Yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
Rap for Breakfast out now on YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. Is it gonna be on like Apple and
So yeah, it's all the songs on all platforms, and the video is gonna premiere next week.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, so the video's gonna be out by now.
Yep.
The video because this comes out Thursday. Not tomorrow, but next Thursday.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be out on the Tuesday.
Go peep that right now.
Rap for Breakfast. Yeah.
And we'll be back. We'll see you next week. And it's just going to be the same conversation, but, it's going to be beautiful. So, yeah. See y'all soon. Stay beautiful. Stay blessed. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Thanks again for tuning in to Shut Up and Listen. For more captivating content, including videos, articles, and everything music related, visit our website at shutupbeham.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever you get your podcast and join the conversation by following us at Shut Up and Listen Beham on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Shut Up and Listen is proudly produced by Rocket Soul and Binary Recording Studio. Stay tuned for more fantastic episodes.